the streets are on fire right now because rumor has it, Beyonce just snitched on her own husband Jay-Z. Like for real, word is she's looking out for herself and herself only. Not Jay, not the Carter Empire, not the image, nothing. Now y'all know it's been no secret that things between Bey and Jay have been rocky for a hot minute. They've been putting on that power couple front for the cameras, but behind the scenes, Chile, it's giving barely holding on vibes. And now, it's looking like Queen Bey might finally be done playing house, because if the rumors are true, sis went straight to the feds and started singing like a canary. And you know that's not gonna sit right with Jay-Z, not at all. And guess who's tangled up in this mess too? None other than Diddy. Are we even surprised at this point? For years now, folks have whispered that Beyonce and Jay-Z were way too cozy with Diddy and his shady shenanigans, but nothing ever stuck. Well, buckle up, because if Beyonce really sat down with the feds, baby, the skeletons are about to come flying out the closet, and it's not gonna be cute. Let's break this tea down properly. Now, disclaimer, this is all alleged. Don't come for me. I'm just telling you what's already bubbling up in the streets, and honestly, when you hear the whole story, it kind of makes too much sense. Here's the thing. Diddy's trial is right around the corner, literally just weeks away. And the feds, they're cleaning house. They're pulling out every receipt, every witness, every dirty little secret. They've been real hush-hush about it, but things are starting to leak, like the tea that Cassie's reportedly testifying against Diddy. Yeah, that shook the table. Hard. So naturally, fans started digging, trying to find out who else might be snitching. And that's when whispers started swirling about Beyonce allegedly meeting with the feds. Now listen, Beyonce's name has been floating around this Diddy mess from day one. Some people think her only tie to Diddy is Jay-Z, but oh no, baby. Bey was friendly with Diddy in her own right, long before his house of cards started crumbling. Need an example? Freddie P once spilled that back in the day. Diddy made him and other bad boy artists walk 4 whole hours to get cheesecake. And why? Because Beyonce had a craving and wanted cheesecake from that specific bakery. Like, make it make sense.
Okay, fun fact a lot of people don't know. That cheesecake we went and got was for Beyonce. She was upstairs the whole time. What we was talking about again? Hold on. Yeah, that's a fun fact people don't know. People like, y'all walked together cheesecake. It was for Beyonce. He told us to walk. He didn't tell us to walk back. So we already in the hotel like 3 hours before they got there. When they said they was coming, we went and met him in front of the building. And you know the first thing that nigga said out of his mouth? He said, we got the cheesecake. He was like, I want that shit. Take that shit upstairs for Beyonce. Then he said, they was like, yeah, man, we wanted to tell you, Fred and Dallon, they ain't walk back. You know, trying to be on some snitching shit. He's like, I ain't tell you niggas to walk back.
And let's be real, you don't have artists trekking 4 hours on foot unless you're real tight with the person making the request. That's not regular, degular business behavior. That's I owe you a favor kinda messy. And that's not all, honey, because way before Diddy's whole freak-off lifestyle blew up in public, folks were already whispering about Beyonce popping up at his wild parties. Yep, before the receipts came pouring out, the streets were talking. And the baby? Yeah, the baby. Even hinted that Beyonce was a little too comfortable at those parties. He didn't outright say freak off, but baby the way he described it, it was giving freak off energy loud and clear.
I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people he had put them out. But he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean, like putting his arm around me.
Right.
So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there. Mm-hmm. Me and, you know, maybe about 15 others, you know.
Right.
Jay-Z and Beyonce being, you know, 2 of the other 15 people in the room. So that'll just put into perspective of the type of company I was in at the moment, you know. And she came over and introduced herself to me like as if she had to. This Beyonce, cut it out. But I'm a big fan of your work, you know what I'm saying? Whoop de whoop, and that was just dope. That was dope as hell to me, man. That was dope. That was super dope.
And that's still not even the worst part. Rumors also started swirling that Beyonce was actually caught on tape at one of Diddy's parties doing, well, let's just say, activities that would not fly at Sunday brunch.
I also was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. So, which I declined that because...
Wait a minute, say that again, back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood but one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge.
I've heard this before, so like a catch and kill.
Catch and kill, correct.
Wow, can you, and I guess you can't reveal the person who is on
No, I can't explain who the person was, but Mr.
High profile?
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? Really? And you've seen it?
I've seen stills of the video.
Okay.
So
you can verify
that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video, and I can tell the video was pornographic in nature.
Oh my, all right. So we know that he videotaped a lot of activities at his home, Diddy. And it sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes, this was actually in his Atlanta home, at a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video, so it's, to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in the videotaping, like they're being surreptitiously recorded it.
Now, before y'all come for me, no, there's no physical receipts we can wave around. But guess who's been screaming about these tapes existing for months now? Jaguar Wright. That's right, Jaguar said flat out that the tapes exist and they would make Beyonce look bad, like career-ending bad. And the gag is, she made those claims way before Lil Rod's lawsuit even hit the courts.
The Diddy. Oh, Diddy done turned over tapes, allegedly with the Carters in some freak off, and the Beyonce, how on the cocaine, and the tapes had jizz all over it. Hold on.
And now Lil Rod's court documents are basically backing her up. Allegedly, Diddy had hidden cameras in every room of his houses, recording celebrities, politicians, executives, you name it, which honestly explains why Beyonce might feel cornered enough to turn on Diddy. But why turn on Jay-Z too? That's the million-dollar question, right? Jay is the father of her kids, her business partner, her co-ruler of the Carter empire. Why blow all that up? Well, insiders are whispering that Beyonce's been trying to get out of the marriage for a long time. And what better way to do it than to walk away when Jay's getting dragged down with Diddy? She could play the heartbroken wife role and still come out squeaky clean. And let's not pretend Jay's been Prince Charming behind the scenes either. Rumors have swirled for years about how controlling Jay allegedly is with Beyonce. Jaguar Wright even compared Bey's situation to Britney Spears, calling for a whole Dox-her-free Beyonce movement because Bey's been living like a prisoner.
He's a monster. And I've known he's a monster for years. I waited a long time to see if he would grow a conscience. And the more he pumps down his wife's throat to keep her in a character.
No, girl.
Then she compared Beyonce.
Y'all, the idea that Beyonce, Queen Bey, could be trapped in her own marriage, that's wild enough, but it gets crazier. Because Jay himself pretty much admitted it. In his song 444, he didn't just confess to cheating, he admitted to emotionally wrecking her. In his own words, he mourned the innocence leaving her eyes. He knew exactly what he was doing. And it didn't stop there. Last year, blogger Storm Monroe spilled even more piping hot tea. He claimed Beyonce's been plotting her exit strategy for years, setting up new businesses, launching back-to-back world tours, stacking up her bag for when she finally walks away.
After the powers that be, the PTB, the industry, whatever you want to call them, once they're done with Diddy, right? And this is going to be going on for some time, but once, I guess you could say the public humiliation, basically after the major documentaries come out, right? After they are done with Diddy, Jay-Z is up next to be exposed, right?
And fans clocked it too. Sis has been working overtime lately. In just a couple of years, Beyonce's launched multiple businesses, dropped 2 world tours. It's giving get the bag ready before I dip. The timing, very suspicious. And remember when Jay-Z was hit with that massive SA lawsuit? Everyone thought that would be the final straw for Beyonce, but nope. Jay celebrated when the case was dismissed, calling it a victory and shading the accuser hard in his statement. But now, with Diddy's trial looming and the feds pulling everybody into the mud, it looks like Beyonce might finally be making her move. And if the streets are right, she's doing it by cutting a deal with the feds. Now, whether she actually leaves Jay-Z for good, we'll have to wait and see. But best believe we'll be watching every move once Diddy's trial kicks off. In the meantime, tell me, do y'all think Beyonce really snitched on Jay-Z? And if so, was she wrong for it? Because baby, this drama is just getting started.